Howdy folks, VannKraken here. It is a Thursday night World of Warships Legends stream. Not used to saying that. This is 2 weeks in a row where we've been kind of off our normal rotation because I'm actually headed for another event this weekend, but actually the soccer tournament I thought I was going to, we are no longer going because we had one of the players test positive for COVID, and as I said last night, that exposed other teammates and potentially myself, so we will be staying home from that event and just going early on our spring break family trip, which is up to a mountain cabin, kind of not totally rustic, but pretty rustic, so I may be lugging one of my Xbox Ones along and playing on one of the wonkiest internet connections ever that drops all the time. Won't be that much different than my client crashing, right? So we shall see if I make it back on again after tonight. It's possible on a headset, on a really, again, on the Twitch app maybe, on Xbox. But we'll have to see how that goes. Hey, Cody, thank you for the host, my friend. But anyway, really quickly, I am VannKraken. We are trying to build a fun community around this stream, which is happening. It is really happening. Want to give a shout out to Archer right now, who is not on stream with us. God, I hope he's not on stream with us, because just checking his Facebook, which I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook, but I told him I would friend him on Facebook to keep track of what's going on with the baby that's arriving soon. So as of when I saw the latest status he posted on Facebook, is probably about 40 minutes ago, and they were at the hospital and probably getting ready to start inducing his wife into labor. So super exciting. His first child. It's definitely a life-changing experience. You youngins in the chat will find that if you one day choose to have children, everyone will tell you forever, yes, it's life-changing. You won't know until you actually experience it, and that is completely true. So Hold on, there's some clamor in the chat. Let me get my chat panes set up here. Yeah, Archer's not on, hopefully. So I've redone my cam wiped. I'm taking some advice, continuous advice from Mr. Tactic Angel, and trying out some different settings on my webcam. Partially it's red because of my shirt, but there's also some different filters that you can apply to your webcam. And I did go in and manually adjust some of my settings, so it's going to look different than it has looked. So anywho, we're going for a different, fresh take on it. Hopefully it's a little sharper, a little less gray and fuzzy in the background. And yeah, hella red because of the shirt, but also because there's, again, kind of a filter applied. I have 30 different filters to try. I'm going with one of the ones that this streamer kind of coach, gaming and streaming coach talks about. He's a cool guy who does stuff on YouTube. This is one of the filters that he likes, he suggested. I will tell you, I honestly don't see these things exactly the way you guys, which is why I was telling Tactic that I haven't messed around with this stuff too much, but it is. That's the first innovation. The second is Ludwig, which you probably heard is making a huge splash on Twitch right now. Every time he gets a sub, he extends his time on his stream by 10 seconds, and it's already gone on for like 2 days, and he's got like 24, 28 hours in the bank. He's going to keep streaming as long as his subs come in and keep boosting his stream by 10 seconds. That tells you how many subs he's getting. So tonight, I'm going to extend my stream by 10 seconds for every $1 I get donated. So I will end my stream at exactly the same time I normally end it. Oh God, Archer, you're not supposed to be on here, man. I don't want to get you in trouble. Put the phone down like really low, like a kid at dinner where it's under the table. Yeah, that is the thing about inducing labor, my friend. It is a holding pattern until they go to, I'm trying to remember, Pitocin? Pitocin, I think, is the thing towards the end that gets things moving faster. So, anywho. Yeah. So let's see, let me catch up here. You want to... Talked about the webcam filter. Yes, and my bright red shirt. Have a question I want to see if it's true. What class was the USS Indiana? Don't say anything, Cody. What class was the USS Indiana? That's a question I don't know the answer to. Someone shouted out in chat. I'm sure Cleve is going to give you an incredible gift for saying what it is. And look at this. Tonight my chat is all wonky color in Streamlabs, so I'm going to have to look between my phone and on my chat pane for YouTube because I can't read it. It's all blue. This happens every once in a while. Do I know? No, what I can't say that I do know. So hey, Dark, I think you like my my cam settings. They look a little bit more like yours, actually. Answer my question. Next time you play Tier 8, 6 Thunders will be on the enemy team. Tier 8 being a PC or Tier 8 being Legendary tier? Well, there's always one way. But there's probably more than one USS Indiana, right? That's what I'm going to guess. I'm not sure. Let me put my hand to my head and kind of concentrate. So Indiana, she probably was, I think, a battleship, if I remember properly. BB 58. And I'm going to guess one of the Dakotas. Maybe I'm going to go, I'm 50-50 North Dakota, South Dakota. I'm going to go South Dakota class on that USS Indiana, if that is the correct USS Indiana that you're asking about, of which there may be more than one. So let me know if that's correct. So Archer doing paperwork, like checking in. Tell me she's getting an epidural. I hope she's getting an epidural. That makes life a lot smoother. I know some people don't believe in that, but my wife's labor pains were vastly reduced. Taking advantage of modern medicine. I knew it. Nobody knows the Forgotten Sister of South Dakota class. I just said that. I said probably BB57, BB58. BB58. There we go. Look at that. Confirmed. Confirmed. You guys probably don't know who the Great Karnak was. Cleve, tell me who the Great Karnak was. Which famous television comedian and TV show host was the Great Karnak? I'm asking the questions now. So Archer not much has been doing, riding on 5 hours sleep last 2 nights. Dark, I'm not much more sleep beyond that. Not much more sleep beyond that. She's trying not to. Well, you tell her after going through this twice, if it gets bad, it's always there. And, you know, I don't know. Like at this point where my wife and I are 13 years down the road, 13 and 15 years, you're not going to remember that you got or didn't get an epidural. So you don't get any extra badge, I don't think. Well, it's true, Cleve. I mean, after they build out a class, you're right. It's the first couple ships that seem to get all the notoriety, right? I can say I went on the New Jersey as a teen. That was a pretty fun trip. I got to go and do a tour of the New Jersey. You act like you watch TV. Haven't actually watched a show in 8 years. Well, that's fine, because this comedian is way beyond 8 years ago. I guess you'll just have to Google Great Karnak. Famous for holding an envelope to his head. And inside the envelope would be the answer to the question. And he'd pull out of the envelope basically the answer to the question, but phrased in a really funny way. You guys are all a lot younger than me, so I wouldn't expect you to know that one, but you should know who this comedian is, because he's basically a pioneer of every talk show that you see that's hosted by a comedian on TV today. Any late night talk show, absolute pioneer of it all. Imagine not having 174 sisters. Yeah, Dark, I've been watching more streaming series than So Little Things. We do still watch, my wife and kids watch a little bit of American Idol. I'm not watching as much of that. We do watch Survivor. That's probably the one kind of trashy show that we still watch. We don't watch any of the Bachelor, Bachelorette crap, any of that kind of thing. A lot less reality TV these days, but we have watched Survivor all these years, except for a few seasons. So that's one that we just kind of have stuck with. All right, well, hello to YouTube and to Twitch, because we're going out to both places again. You may watch those shows on streaming websites if you're in the mood to make fun of something. Oh, well then you can at least you don't have to watch commercials or anything. We always record it. It is kind of funny these days when people get duped and blindsided and they don't realize things are coming because they haven't really watched any Survivor before they go on, or you just think they shouldn't be surprised by some of the things that actually happen. So, all right. Well, tonight you guys are going to get to laugh at me further as I continue to explore the Lost Fleet. All right. So Lost Fleet is the theme for this week, which is playing all of my port queens from past campaigns. And in this case, we are a bit into our potential damage, barely into our potential damage. It's a couple hundred thousand in on damage inflicted, and we have 3 ship kills out of 15. So I'm probably gonna have to pack up an Xbox to go with me, because we've got to leave for our trip sometime tomorrow. But I am going to choose had a potato storage area. I bet if you had a potato storage area below decks where it was kept cool by water, then it wouldn't even need to be refrigerated. It's a bunch of, Walking Dead zombie potatoes stuck down there. Dude, that's too funny, Dark. Yeah. I watched your whole match in the Richelieu like you're a potato. So I think tonight what we're going to rotate we're going to rotate on things that get shot at a lot. So some Alabama or Massachusetts. I'm going to probably lay off Asthma because I have to play Asthma at more of a distance. So cruiser-wise, we're going to go Siegfried, and then we're going to throw in some Odin. And then if I get really sporty, I might take Roma out, which has a tragic 2-game history with me. So potato cooling HVAC system. Actually, if you hook them all together and they put a salt solution in there and some wiring, it actually makes a battery that could power all of the electrical needs of the ship. And then they just pull the spuds out of the electrolyte solution, perfectly seasoned, throw them in the pot. So that's probably what it was, a giant potato battery. I already know what you're talking about, Cleve. I only have 105 ships in this game. I'm not like Cody, who has probably every premium ship. And I have a hard time playing them all. I need more time. Don't have enough time. Literally. You did a... Oh, USN after World War II. Yeah, I just saw a thing on YouTube about a mothball showing tons of ships mothballed. Exactly what you're talking about before they went scrap, basically. You know, it's like where is it? It's out by Nellis Air Force Base, or is that where the storage yard is for all the airliners' extra planes that aren't being used because they can store them out in the desert without them aging too badly? Is that where all the 737 Maxes have been? Dark did a coronavirus grab paper regarding HVAC disinfection and filtration processes this week. I hope you talked about ultraviolet as a key component of that. They actually did say on my Southwest flight that they were... Well, you can obviously use HEPA or microfiltration too. But they were doing supposedly that, plus fresh air intake into the cabin and filtering all the air in the cabin every 3 to 4 minutes. So Dark, when I worked in tropical fish, I've had multiple lives in the pet industry, but during college I worked in a tropical fish store. And in saltwater fish tanks, you can't use some common treatments to get rid of certain diseases because they kill things like coral and invertebrates if you have a reef tank. So you use basically what's called a UV sterilizer. So similar to what you probably put in your paper. It's just basically a pump that takes a loop of water out through a tube that has ultraviolet bulb that basically kills the pathogens as they circle through that ultraviolet filter. So kind of cool. Yeah, UV sterilization. Oh, the other interesting thing was when we were in the Phoenix airport going down the escalator, it actually said that the handrails on the escalator were being sterilized by UV sterilization, which I thought was pretty cool and pretty innovative. Okay, we're not headed straight in against battleships, people. Hey Zai, how are you, man? How is it going? Good to see you. Hope you had a good conclusion to your arena battle season. That was really fun that night. We were teaming up. Arena battles were fun in a division. Definitely fun. I missed rank sprint. Rank sprint is the only kind of sprint I like. But I heard, I did read a few not blog posts, but probably Reddit or Discord posts that people said they were able to rank out in like 18, 19 games. And that is pretty similar to what I was able to do when it was on PC. So, and then you also looked into vaporous hydrogen peroxide injections. Yeah, that would work. All this kind of technology and stuff that we're going to be living with now. I think you're going to see a lot of innovation in that. You're doing well, as I had some great games today for the Havocs. Good. I hope your luck is going to rub off on me. I had some decent games last night. I've only played, this is only the second time I played this week. Had some decent games, had some tough games. Especially if you're playing Siegfried and Asthma. You can't really go in too soon. You can't carry versus, you know, 3 ships. So, kind of interesting. Very teammate dependent. But I did have a few really good games. Glad you're having a good week so far. Okay. Massachusetts is going to give us broadside. Come on, Bismarck guns. Oh, looky there. Can't even pronounce it.
Ouch, town population, you, bro.
Go, Siegfried. These guns are decent. They can hit. We got a Citadel hit. Thanks, man. He didn't heed that I have decent guns, did he? He wasn't even pointing his turrets in my direction to keep me honest. Oh, I need to mark a tally on my kills. I'm going in for the accounting. Okay, look at this massive push happening. So this is what I'd do last night. There'd be a push shaping up like this on a flank. I would get moving in Siegfried, and then all the battleships would just start reversing, and then I'm out by myself. Cleve, I'm not surprised by you doing that. People who have the Albemarle, oh god, Zaya will probably know exactly how to pronounce that too. I'm just probably ruined it. How is that going if you had a chance to unlock that ship? I've seen some people have some good games in it so far. Ooh, close. Albemarle was like my sleeper. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Mr. Ochak. Oh, I didn't even get a chance. He's going to try to tort me. That is another Ochakov fail. Missed your other message. Sorry. Imagine being a ship thinking you have a chance of not getting scrapped, then you find out they scrapped the Enterprise. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. No kidding. I'm sure that's what happened to, like, the destroyer that I had an uncle that served on a destroyer, the USS Blue. It's not one of the classes in the game that I can recall. But, I mean, think of all the destroyers produced. Did anyone watch that video recently that WG did on the relative size of the navies and the different types of ships produced and the timing? It was kind of interesting. No kidding, Tactic. Should have been, well, we have the Intrepid Museum, right? Which I drove by when we went to New York last year. Well, sorry, a year and a half ago. Pre-pandemic October. Did a drive-by on the Intrepid Museum. Unfortunately, could not stop. But fun going by her. I grew up in San Diego during the summer, so we would always drive by San Diego Harbor, San Diego Bay, to go to fish. Do a lot of half-day fishing boats. So always was interested to see what might be moored at the Navy piers. So I did a 40K broadside on a Lenin in Siegfried. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Oh, hello, Eddie. Okay, gotta watch out for torpidation here. Let's throw the plane at, give us a little bit of early warning on torpedoes. We always can use our hydro. We have the good German hydro. Both those ships didn't survive the war as Yorktowns. Yorktown Hornet and the Essex version are museum ships. Ooh, we claim another one.
Sweet.
Okay. Let's go central. Dude, we're getting support. We're getting a couple kills. I'm loving it. Oh my, Vlad. Oh, I'm showing way too much side. Tactic told me 45 degrees. What? Sometimes... I think my controller is getting wonky. Left stick, after much FIFA, doesn't always respond. Okay, that might be about the angle. Can we cheek him? Gotta hit to have a chance, huh? What's our friend the Bama doing? Bama staying pat. Bama knows we have torps. I'll try to go right above the armor belt here. Ah, we bounced.
The ship is on fire.
Okay. Oh crap, that was bad. Okay, let's push it. It's not a good game for the first game. Might just have to go for the Bama Slamma Rama. What are my torp angles? I don't know my torpedo angles well enough. Ah, tried to turn in a little. And now we've lost the advantage. Alright, that was definitely impatient. Daughter keeps cranking up the heat downstairs after she comes home from soccer. It's way too hot. And then I've got some funky vaccination symptoms too. Did get vaccinated the first time with the Pfizer vaccine a few days ago. So definitely feeling some soreness and funkiness from that. But happy to get started on that. Go science. Alright, we did get 2 kills. We know we got some potential damage. I should have just bow tanked in that situation, but I don't know how long I would have held. Maybe it would have been better just to accelerate through and try to torp. So, tactic, there's a filter on that, okay? So, I not only adjusted the settings manually, I went, like you said, I did contrast, I did brightness, I did one of the other 3 out of 4. There actually is a filter applied that has a tint to it. Part of that's being picked up probably by my shirt. So I'm just going to play around with some different filters. They're called LUTs. L-U-T. And it stands for something. It's something table, because it's a table of values. So anyway, I'm just going to play around with some different ones of these LUT filters. There's 30 in this pack that I got from this one. I don't know if you've seen the Gaming Careers guy. His name is Pete. He does a lot of equipment reviews. He does a lot of Elgato stuff, and I have an Elgato Wave microphone and a few other Elgato pieces of equipment. He sends some good reviews on that kind of stuff. So, anywho, this is from his filter pack, and this is one of the ones that he suggested. Again, I don't see these like you guys do. I can tell there's kind of a red background tint to it, and I know my shirt is picked up really red, and that was an accident. But he's got all different shades, so we'll play around with some different filters. But it's just funny. Yeah, they're definitely color filters. LUT responds to or refers to a table of values, I think, of how the color filter is applied. It's kind of like the filters that you can throw on Instagram or things like that. Dark, you should write a paper on it. I'm sure the colorway stuff you could probably incorporate into your architecture. Well, you could check him out. Is Pete at Gaming Careers. I think it's gamingcareers.com. He has a pretty big YouTube channel. So he's got one on how to make your webcam look better. And I had viewed that before, but again, like I told you last night, I was a little afraid to muck with the settings just because of my vision issues. So looks different, very different to me. So you guys can comment on whether you like it, and I will throw some different filters on and surprise you guys. All right, let's keep a triple battle booster. Actually, how's my stock on those? Let's downgrade that. I don't have time to triple them up. We'll keep our silver filter on. So again, I'm picking ships tonight. Massachusetts isn't really Lost Fleet for me. I do play this boat since I got her. She's fun. She fits my playstyle. Maybe not Cleaves so much. But I do like her, and obviously with her secondaries, we have the ability to get into a range where we'll absorb damage and be able to deal damage. So picking ships that help nail all three of our shakedown missions concurrently. So since these can be done simultaneously, we want to go for potential damage, damage inflicted, and ship kills simultaneously. Find electrical tape. Yeah, I've started the slow process of looking into DSLR. So we'll see. Gets pricier to get a DSLR that you can actually use on stream that doesn't time out. And Sony has some good ones, I guess, for around 500 bucks. It's definitely a much bigger investment. This is the webcam that was laying around from when my daughter was playing around on a YouTube channel with her friends, so I kind of stole it, repurposed it. Can solve some definitely complex problems with duct tape. John, do you put that into your designs? Apply duct tape here. Okay. So I play my battleships kind of in a cruiser manner. I'm not just going to bow in and sit. I can't do it. I have to move around. So I'd rather get on the move, reposition, kite a bit. And that puts me at more risk, I know, of absorbing damage, but so be it. I can get away with this playstyle a lot easier on PC, where the spawns start further apart. The question is what's over here right now. Okay, looks like they're staying relatively clustered around their cap. 2 destroyers. Let's see if they push down the 1-2 line. Common theme, but it doesn't look like they're concertedly pushing. Oh, Belfast just blinked out. Yes, I have 1 crane on my stern. Okay, let's see if we can get some fire on this Richie. He's doing the backup maneuver. Missed him. Okay, we'll hold this position. We don't want to nose out anymore. We'll be broadside here.
The ship is on fire.
So let's start backing up a little bit. Try to bow tank the corner here. I do not feel relaxed because I don't have a lot of time. Again, I'm probably going to have to wind up packing up an Xbox to take with me to a horrible internet connection just so I can try to get stuff done. Either that or I just resign myself to maybe paying a little bit to try to unlock this campaign ship, which I hate to do. Really loathe putting any additional money besides the Admiralty backing cost into these campaigns. Haven't had to do it yet. Everyone's losing their mind about Des Moines. You just want a tier 7 gunboat DD. What was Des Moines announced as a legendary tier? Had so much going on, crazy stuff at work the last few days. Have not had a lot of time to keep up with current events. Let's hold here. Let's let the Colorado come across our field of fire. We're kind of cruisering on this corner right now. Looks like we'll have some more clear targets here in a second. Just don't want to get antsy and push into a focus fire situation here. Come on. Okay, Colorado's going to be our best bet. DD, come on, Benham. You don't need to even be spotted, really. There's nothing to cap there, dude. We have a points lead. We have a ship lead. The worst thing you can do is fire and die right now. Oh, the space battle cruiser. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if on PC if it was a Des Moines. I played so little space battles, like 2 games. Just didn't get super into that event. Honestly, I thought the original Transylvania event was the best. The Big Hunt this year on PC, I thought was kind of lame. It's actually kind of similar to the way they did Space Battle Mode, where you're battling against some common enemy monsters, and then it's kind of a death match at the end between the surviving human-piloted ships. So I'm not sure how the original Space Battle format was, if it was just an out-and-out regular standard battle, so to speak, but with the space battle craft and the unique maps and torpedo dynamics and stuff. Come on. Superman, how are you, my friend? Thank you again for the host. 2 nights in a row. Oh, don't worry about raids. I mean, me and Ludwig have been up for way too long. This is going on my, 48th hour of the stream. Have you guys heard about that? I'm sure you have, right? Ludwig's getting 50,000 people watching him sleep. He extends his stream 10 seconds every time he gets a sub. Okay. We're up 3. I think it's time to push. Let's push the Colorado. Galaxy is a Des Moines on PC. Okay. Thanks, I. You could buy the Space Battle skins, which that's another reason they introduced that mode, right? So I'm sure we'll have those too. So some people on PC play pretty consistently with the Space Battle skins, and it's always kind of funky because they have the unique gun sounds and stuff, which obviously you can turn off with your filters, but that sounds right. Yeah, I wonder if it will play consistently with the Des Moines, or how tweaked it will be for the mode. Can buy the non-tier 7 and legendary ones. Crap, oh, that Richelieu's coming forward. My bad. Let's get pushed up here. Turpit's gonna come across. We're just not gonna go straight to where we'll be in torpedo danger. Probably hold station here a little bit. Who else is coming with him? Oh, Turpitz is gonna be dead. He'd be dead before he hits the corner. Richelieu is just kind of moving in and out. Colorado, not a lot to fear there. Okay, let's start pushing through. Ship in the mode looks like Des Moines. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's shaping up to be. I'll be interested to see. I know there was postings by some folks too about one of the commanders, that one of the commanders already looked good. It's the fishy the goldfish guy in a fish tank as the head of the commander. I remember that one from the PC side, I think. Okay, we'll get into secondary range here shortly on the Colorado, but he's gonna be dead. I probably should have pushed a little sooner. We haven't even taken that much fire. Okay, you can shoot at me now, Richelieu. Thought it was a Charles Martel. Hey, we got a kill. I love the Charles Martel. I don't have it on Legends yet, but that's one of my favorite cruisers. That ship, playing the French line up to that ship at tier 8. I'm not as big a fan of the 9 and 10 on PC, honestly. And the de Grasse are really probably the ships that mainly got me back into playing a lot of cruiser. Okay, where is this DD? He either probably disconnected. Which, did that patch go out today, or was that last night to try to fix the crashes? Archer can't tell us if he's crashing. He's at the hospital. His client's crashing. We're not spotted, so I don't know where the DD went. That was last night's patch? Yeah, okay. I heard they already tried to fix it once, right? It didn't go so well. I have actually had less crashes since other people started getting them. I was getting them before the update, but not really since, interestingly. Alright, we don't know where the DD is. Kind of hook back central to see if we get spotted. Should probably load HE, actually, just in case. I don't really understand why people just basically hide out for the last 2 to 3 minutes before the timer counts out. At least try to attack an edge ship, get a little bit of extra damage, get a kill. You're futzing about with your personal info that I downloaded from the server. Oh, I saw you time that from Hipper's video where he explained how to do that. Play about 31% DDs, 34% both with BBs and cruisers. Interesting. Yeah, I was considering doing that as well. I mean, the data's there, right? It would be really cool to see it. And on PC, you can block your stats. I'm sure they could figure out how to block your stats if you wanted to. It's for Legend Superman. Look under Hipper's YouTube. He has a video about it, how you can basically request it through the Legends website, I think. And it takes a little bit of time to process, and then you can download it into an Excel spreadsheet. Which you would love. You're a finance man. I have also never been banned, Cleve. Never been banned, never been sanctioned. Yeah, I did see that tactic. .csv file. Sometimes it's better to upload a CSV file into Excel because you can kind of conditionally format things like columns. I have to do a lot of CSV manipulation for my job, moving files from one system to another. It's kind of a daily thing for me, actually. Game Jean Bart. We picked up 100,000 progress on one of our bureau trials. I don't know which one. I set it and forget it, basically. Okay. More games. Back out. I'll have to start getting a little more aggressive and accumulating a little more attention here. Let's go, said we play ships I haven't been playing, so let's go Odin. I have not really played Tirpitz much at all either. Love my Tirpitz on PC. I don't love it so much on Legends. Yeah, Zai, the American pack is tempting. 3 good ships, right? I was telling Tactic last night, I would like to get a Scharnhorst. I just don't want an Abruzzi. The Leningrad is fun. I have Leningrad on PC. But I don't really want to grab a 3-ship pack where I have 1 ship that I'm not going to enjoy playing. So that's not a great discount to me. OpenOffice parses it fine, then you throw it into a Google Sheet because I'm not learning another program. Yeah, I've been splitting my time now between Google Sheets and Excel. All my past life for 20 years of finance and biology, lab science was all Excel. And then now we have a shared work portal on Google, so I'm doing a lot more Google Sheet work now. And you can definitely tell that Microsoft is trying to kind of protect turf with the subscription-based format of 365 and trying to get you to, well, sign up for the Microsoft stuff in different and unique ways, because Google has to be raining on their parade somewhat. I mean, Office was really it for so long. All right, here we go. Got the reversing cruiser. Let's see what tier we are. We're top tier. VBA is better than the Google scripts. I was pretty good at doing all the Excel macro type work and Excel formula work that I needed to do for my purposes in both finance and biology. So again, it's in some ways a little hard to go and learn something new. And I haven't used Excel in as heavy duty a way in my own business. Yeah, Zai, I got this map twice last night. I like Two Brothers. I've always liked this map, except when you have drunk teammates that all want to go middle. Look at these bastards all spotting me up. We obviously have a DD that we've got to potentially worrying about. This Chappie needs to get some damage. That get blocked. Let's call for... Come on. Can we do this? Can't get it selected. There. I'd like the Chappie to have to back off so I don't get burned too badly. We accomplished some of our potential damage goals there. Apache Open Office, so that's another new one. Oh, to open CSV files. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed because I had got a new office computer, and it's just a lot harder not to get a new computer these days and be able to maintain and use your old Excel, your old Office, which I have like Office 13 and Office. I think I have copies all the way back to 2003. But they make it harder and harder to use those installed programs. Okay, I can't really go in on the DD because I'm going to be giving broadside to these guys. Great, we have both DDs. Just barely. Okay. We're going to have to try to turn out here. Can't really hang in this spot. And everybody has fallen back. Good hit on the Chappie. Be nice if he would go dark. I'm gonna preferentially target him again. See if we can get him off the edge. And we're just gonna kite away from the Colorado and the Tirpitz. You should see which ships you play the most. You know, yeah, the one ship you play the most for you, the Wagon. It's just, that's been a big loss for me, not being able to look at my statistics in a more detailed way on Legends. I mean, I'm not a stat shaming person at all. I think my whole career I've only brought up stats to people on tanks or ships like once or twice over many, many, many games. Just because people were so caustic, and of course some of the most caustic people are the ones that have the worst stats. So a couple times I've mentioned it, but really, you know, it's just me, for me, my own sake, being able to break down my play. That's why I love World of Warships stats and numbers for PC, which if that guy picked up the API for Legends, it would be fantastic because his site is really, really good. It's as good as any of the tank sites I used to use back in the day, like Watt Labs, or there was another pretty good one for World of Tanks Clans that you could choose between the console version or the PC version. So I could just switch back and forth when I was playing both. Okay guys, we got multiple ships here on the edge. There's my friend, the Chappie again. Use repair party. We'll save our damage control for a second fire if necessary. Yeah, now we gotta use it. Guys, do you see anything going on this edge? Well, everyone went back to defend the cap, I guess. Every single ship. And I have one of the trailing DDs continuing to spot me, so really no use stopping firing and trying to go dark in this situation. Thankfully, this Cleveland's going to have a harder time hitting me at distance because of his floaty shells. We'll tell how much American light cruiser he's played. Come on, guys. So we're all gonna stuff the channel together now, huh? Okay. I'm not sure what firing position our Nagato is in this other Odin. Should be getting some accumulated potential damage here. Uh-oh, the German's getting broken out again. Okay, maybe they'll pick on those guys for a little bit. We were actually drawing quite a bit of fire. There's no domination mode, so there's no reason to push into these guys. Let them push into us, but I would like a little bit of help. Come on, guys. Go for the Tirpitz. Gonna use our last heal. Okay, the enemy DD's closing in. Yeah, I don't know if I can fit in there. There's too many people in there. I'm like a purist. I hate people going up the middle because it's usually drunkards, right? Let's get the right ship selected here. Hey, dude, let's go up the middle. It'll be awesome. I mean, and then, you know, people pull it off like once in a blue moon, right? So it's like in soccer when you coach soccer and you say, don't do this particular thing, and then it works out for the player, and you're like, oh God. There's the bad habit built and reinforced. Okay. Aha, there's the DD. Unfortunately, it's away from task. So what is kite away? Actually, let's just run our hydro. Why not? We're drying all the fire again. Close enough to the torpedoes. We'll get those as credit for potential damage. I do like this quicker reload on the Odin. Obviously the shells are not as large caliber, but it does remind me as a little bit Scharnhorsty. Hey Ochakov, there's your target right there. Oh, is he dead? Yeah, now we're behind. I'm gonna division with the German CC. Are you gonna, in its German language, so you get to practice? That'll be cool, dude. I'm sure people won't judge. It's very cool. The German Legends community is pretty full with regard to Twitch viewership. I hand off a lot of times to German-speaking Twitch streamers without even realizing it. Okay, we got to get around the corner here to get away from the Cleveland. So if that Ochakov had gone for the DD, that would have been awesome. If this Nagato would be anywhere where he could actually shoot at a ship, that would have been awesome. But the problem is that we're getting perma-spotted by the lightning. Let's throw a plane up, what the heck. And we know he can shoot to space. Got the Chappie and the Cleveland over there. They've missed me a lot, though. Good God, I should have a good potential damage game here. Now I think I'm in a little too close. So let's push. Let's hope the. Say, hope the Tirpitz pushes. Oh gosh, here we go. Odin versus Odin. How long will our Nagato last? So it'd be cool if we could dodge some of these Odin torpedoes. Oh my gosh, he's completely broadside to him. Bounce. Oh, good grief. Pick on someone else. Okay. The Nagato is going to meet shield for us, hopefully. Hey, good hit on the Tirpitz. I'm going to get broadside killed by the Odin, probably. What? Did he kill my tubes? Come on, get him back. Oh! No! No! Should have gone narrow spread. He is flooding, though. Come on, he's flooding. He's flooding. Yes!
Yes.
Too funny. So that'll get it done. That's 113,000 damage. That had to be a pretty good potential damage game. I'm going to bump out of here because we're going to lose. But I got to go back and check that one out because I'm interested to see. We'll come back and check the mission progress on this specific match. So there you go, Tactic. How did that Brave push up the middle go? I mean, just how long was that Nagato out of the fight and several other ships? You just cannot keep your guns silent that long. Samuel, hey, thank you for joining up on the Discord. I think I saw that today. Humans now outnumber bots by at least like 7, which is fantastic. And yes, I have a lot of bots on there. Hey, no problem. We have mentioned once or twice already, Archer's at the hospital with his fiance/partner at the beginnings of the induction of their baby, who's coming, well, can I say today? He's my time, so probably tomorrow. It's looking like it's going to be maybe morning, early morning, maybe a little later in the morning. My first one, my wife went in around this time, 11 at night. I don't know why they wanted her there at 11. They told me to go home, and then they called me at like 4 in the morning to come back. We had the baby about 9 o'clock in the morning. We had the baby. I did a lot of work. I had to be there when she got her epidural and stuff, which I'm not a big needle person. So just in case you're wondering, I had the first round of the Pfizer vaccine, and the injection was nothing. I'm just a baby when it comes to needles and blood draws. But yeah, very exciting. Very exciting for Archer. Well, it was moral support. She was actually pretty comfortable after her epidurals too. 30% of me. Yeah, maybe. Push, honey. It's a trip, man. The first one was she was in the birth canal a little bit too long, longer than the doctor wanted. So I was like, okay, I'm going in now and getting her. Well, getting them. We didn't know with either of the two kids what their sex was, and the doctor told us like this hardly ever happens anymore. So it was exciting for them as well as for us. No one knew. Well, push not pull, but when it gets down to where they have to use like the magic tongs, so we tell my older daughter, well, you had to have the tongs to get you out, and they didn't have to do it badly, but sometimes they have these basically very wide, grippy, soft-ended tongs they can use to gently pull the baby out, and they had to do a little bit of that with my first, just to get her shoulder a little bit repositioned so she could come out. My wife isn't a big person and didn't have a C-section either time. So it was a little more interesting with the first one just because she was taking a little too long. And they're watching all the fetal feedback on the fetal monitor. So let's see. Let's go back. Siegfried, we still need a win on Siegfried. Let's go Siegfried. Holy crap, Samuel, 10 pounds. My kids were like 7, a little under 7. Forceps is correct tactic. I should know, I'm a science major. I was pre-med. Forceps is correct, but they're large forceps. Large forceps. It's the slang because we joke and kid around about it sometimes, the tongs. Yes, very gentle, wide paddled baby tong. They're made, but they had Weber stamped on the handle, I think, or Fire Magic, which is my current grill. No, yeah, big baby forceps. Wow, Samuel, yeah, you're a biggin. Maybe that's why your mom hates you. My girls were not, well, they're not very large today. They're pretty slender, and they were not big at birth. One a little bigger than the other, chubbier than the other. She was the good eater. The one that came out skinnier, I used to call her chicken legs. She actually would not eat well. So I was explaining to Archer that if the baby eats well, they sleep. If they don't eat well, they're up every 2 to 3 hours. And that was my first one. We didn't get more than 2 hours of sleep for the first probably month. And then she started sleeping a little longer. But I remember being in meetings, and I was in big corporate at the time, and just sitting there and Archer's job is active. That will be easier when he gets his time to go back to work. But when you're sitting in meetings all day and trying to stay awake, and people are droning on giving boring presentations, it was not fun. I still remember it very, very well. Okay. Man, we haven't had a legendary tier game. Maybe everyone decided they were tired of that matchmaking. Someone posted on Reddit today like another bad matchmaking example. Edinburgh matched up on one team versus Shimikaze on the other. It's like, yeah, that's balanced matchmaking. Alright, I don't want to push the edge if I only have one support ship, maybe two. And I know there's most likely going to be a DD, so let's see if we can get some crossfire on the ships in the middle and then flex back to that cap. Many fewer guns, but at least I've got the reload down to a little over 20 seconds, which isn't so bad. Really, Cleve, you're getting all legendary tier? You're actually playing Legends? You're not playing PC? I saw that matchmaking you posted with all the Conquerors and an FDR. Oh, Citadel. Wow, that was a nice salvo. 22 grand. Not bad for 6 shells. Yeah, he's turning out. You ought to turn out. Okay, what's happening at A? Yeah, let's bump back. Well, we got 2 battleships and a destroyer. Yeah, we should flex back and maybe support A. Oh, no, let's say let's go for the DD, but he just blinked out. Shoot. Udachi in honor of Archer. Come on, get him. Oh, I just missed him. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I haven't been over there for a while, as you know, to PC land, but people are playing comfort ships, I guess, right? I haven't even been following the Fuhrer. I see that Flammy is still posting pretty regularly videos and stuff. So it doesn't look like he's going away anytime soon, even though he's not in his CC role now. Okay, who we got there? Who we got here? Odin. Okay, we don't want to keep giving broadside to these dudes, so let's... Just worried about this guy. Yeah, this Massachusetts. He's going to get Udachi'd. Not much I could do for him if he was going to push in there alone. Can't wait to get into a game with 2 FDRs, 6 Conquerors, 2 Smolensk, and a Harugamo. Is that a... They're not going to do tier 10 multi-carrier games, are they? That hasn't been happening for a while. Okay, maybe we can have some Udachi counter spotting on their Udachi. Because he's probably still in this gap. We just got spotted again. There he is. Oh, it's Kagero. Well, we have 2 caps, but we're down ships again. Well, there was just lots of fear over the commander skills tactic. They did a big commander respec not long after I started playing PC, so that's going back 3 years. And that was when radio position finding was just first entered. That was going to break and ruin the game. Everyone was up in arms about that. And now with the move from 19 to 21 point captains and having to spend about 1.3 million additional captain XP to level up your commanders back to legendary tier, so to speak. People are pretty upset about it. And then there's a battleship skill called Deadeye, which people think is really encouraging camping because it gives battleships the ability to basically stand off at pretty far distances and not engage. So just worried about inducing more camping. Sorry if I'm blathering, you know about all this stuff. I tend to watch the streamers that are just generally a little more positive. Okay. Let's load HE. Yeah, Deadeye, I don't know if it's true. They're already talking, some people, about it being reworked or recalled. But in general, people are just upset and are calling it a cash grab, that it's taking so much XP. Notzer, who's been a CC that I've followed forever on the PC side, was estimating it would take about 600-odd thousand Commander XP to level from 19 to 21, but it wound up being almost double that. So I think people are just pretty upset about that. I just try not to be upset about everything all the time. It just is what it is. You gotta adapt, and if you don't like it and it makes you terribly unhappy, go find a different game to play. Kind of is how I view it. And I've got a few others that I switch off to. Okay. Thought he might be sitting right behind the island, but he's not. We're just outside of our secondary battery range. God. Well, our Hydra only has 16 seconds. Yeah, Notzer's a cool dude, very chill, obviously. He was doing, you know, YouTube back when not a lot of people were doing YouTube before Twitch, really. That's when I started following him. So he'd do ship reviews and a lot of really cool guides on aiming and stuff. He has some good tutorial stuff even to this day on things like some of the special gun sights for the PC version. Come on, how did I get those hits and didn't get a kill there? Keep him spotted. Yeah, keep firing, dude. Got him. Got him! Yes, exactly. Notzering is running into islands. Captain Arcana, who comes on stream divisions with me sometimes and drops by a lot. He streams as well. He talks about Notzering. So yeah, you know people who've checked out Notzer streams for sure. But he's like, you know, you probably are too, just basically walking encyclopedia of all the ship statistics. I'm just getting too old. I have a pretty good memory, but I just don't try to memorize every plate and gun anymore. I did that on tanks, and I think it killed too many brain cells. It's kind of sad how much tank info I've forgotten, too. Okay, come on. Get a reload here. We got AP loaded now. Going back on the Cleveland. We switched off of HE, which we were using on the Destroyer. Yes!
I see dead people.
It's a pretty close match. Got a good point lead because we got the early caps. So let's get in here and see if we can work on B. Oh, it's our friendly Vanguard from the start of the game. We must have been going in opposite routes, circular routes. Oh, damn. Okay, let's bow in on him. No enemy DDs left, which is good. Don't really want to use my back turret and completely expose my broadside. Hey, Chalky, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Tactic Angel's talking about he's going to be on a German stream. Oh, good God. Here we are in another 1v2 situation. Do we have support this time? It will help us at least from a alpha damage perspective if the Vanguard... Oh, good God. It's all three of them. All right. Do we want to just go in on the Vanguard? Let's bow tank and see if we can split the angle a little bit. I'd like to get torpedoes off, but no guarantee that we'll be able to do that because these torpedoes tend to get knocked out a little bit. Come on, I just need someone flanking these guys. Anyone. Let's get some... Yeah, Odin doesn't want to approach. I'm just trying to split the angle, try to do a 45-degree-ish angle to each of these guys. Maybe we'll aim at the Tirpitz who's giving us broadside. Start backing off a bit. I don't know where my teammates are. Do we want to focus a ship? Hey, Rich, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hopefully we're not going to surprise you with whatever goofy topic we're covering the moment you log in tonight, like the other night. Talking about Cody's crazy body pillows or something like that. Come on, guys. Let's focus fire one ship. That Tirpitz does not seem to be skilled for secondaries. Okay, good. Someone set the Vanguard on fire. Just been using AP on the superstructure. Yeah, I know I can't completely bow tank these other guys, but they seem a little distracted. Well, I guess they're all back on me now. Maybe I have to take this shot now. Be nice if I could use back turrets on one, front on the other. I don't know what our Surya is doing. I guess he set the Vanguard on fire theoretically once. I'm surprised I've been able to tank this long. Okay. Ugh, come on, guys. At least we have accumulated some cap points here too for the squad. Come on, get the Odin. Oh, shoot. Come on, reload. I'm dead. Damn it. Okay, 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Good, Rich. Well, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Always. Always for the moral support. Thank you very much. Come on, dudes. You just need to live for 23 seconds. Not that I really need XP. These guys rammed. It would be just a trade. He's going for the ram. Okay. We're going to pull it out. Sorry, shooting the dead ship. Hey, did almost 100,000 again. 2 back-to-back pretty good games there. German might. Oh, I still have my triple commander XP boosters on that I don't need on. Yeah, Tactic. I was just trying to trade off the angle a little bit there between a few of them. That had to be a decent damage tanking game too. Let's see. Well, we're almost halfway on our damage. Whoa, that jumped up huge. I started the night with only 200,000 of potential damage. And I'm over almost to 9 million. Good chunk there. That last game as well had to be a lot. And we're at 9 kills. That is pretty sweet. I'm behind, Shocky. I wanted to get on and play earlier today just on my own, and I had to go in and install some credit card reader machines at the third store we have in our retail business, and I got those done, but then something happened with the servers in Eagle. Our initial stores had run back and work on the servers there, and then my desktop computer had issues connecting. So I had to spend like the first 6 hours of my day running and fixing different computers and getting vendors on the line to try to deal with problems. So then I couldn't do my day job until after that was done. So by the time that was done, it was time to take my kid to soccer practice. I wasn't coaching tonight because I'd been exposed to someone who had COVID earlier in the week. And then I didn't get home till 8:30, slammed down a frozen burrito and with enough time to basically hang out with my wife for 15 minutes before it was time to try to jump on and stream and say hi to Archer before he has his baby. Hoping to get the price down on it so you can buy it outright. Oh, you're going to try to buy it at a little cheaper price so you can do some of the endless pockets trials. Well, I'm liking Siegfried and Odin games. I'm going to just check that Odin game. I'm curious. I know we lost, but curious to see how much damage we tanked in that game. This one. Wow, we wound up with high caliber in that game. Oh, it's not going to let me look, is it? Dang. See, this is where we need our detailed stat panel, where you can see potential damage. It'd be the 4th tab. They have it in tanks. Man. And we know as Hipper has shown and as Tactic was talking about, we know the statistics are there. Just a matter of letting us see them. And building a page where we can view them. All right. So maybe let's try Odin again. That was our first Odin game in forever. A good damage game. Unfortunately, our team decided to dawdle in the butt crack of two brothers to our detriment. I haven't watched a lot of those German streamers, but they're always on. I mean, again, it just seems like it's a very healthy Legends community. But then Tikon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. He's German, right? And he's been around since the beginning. I think Sailing Robin does a good job too. But there was a different kind of community support person, a lady, Calypso, I want to say. Okay, he is German. That's what I thought. There was a lady named Calypso. I don't know if she's still around. She was doing some of the role that Robin does, but Robin's a lot more up on ships and stuff than she was, I think. They had a good stream the other day. I enjoyed watching them. All right. Ship is so low, the water in the back. It's crazy. It's always weird when you... Again, I go to that World of Warships stats and numbers site for a lot of... they have good PNGs of the ships. Transparent graphics. And when you see how much hull is underneath the water, it's just still kind of mind-boggling that we just see the tip of the iceberg. Calypso is still around? Okay, maybe I thought I saw her popping around, or I saw her present on the Discord not too long ago. Sweet, we have no legendaries again. Oh, did you get it open? Only 1,000 Cleveland games? You saw my stats. I don't even think I have 3,000 games total. Yeah, I think she's Russian too. I think you're right, Tactic. She probably came from the St. Petersburg office or something originally. Phil, obviously. Phil used to be very active in the Discord. I know he still shows up in there occasionally, but he probably has bigger fish to fry these days. No, I don't remember her actually saying much, or she might have been on a stream or two very early. But maybe not even a stream. Maybe it was more, she was doing a lot of communication during the alpha event. They'd release pretty regular spreadsheets, and I think you said you played during alpha. They would tell you how many games you'd played, and they did some tracking of statistics. I think I had one. They gave out a few things, like some award type things. If you had high damage games, which I had one of those, I had a top 5 damage during a certain period, and I just remember her being around from the very early period. And then how many games you played basically dictated what ships you got. So I played enough games to get the G101 Alpha, not enough to get the Texas, but I actually like the G101 Alpha anyway. But I don't see a Texas Alpha played hardly ever. Let's alert to this. These German streamers speak English. I may check them. No point in checking them out if I can't understand what they're saying. Well, you just need to rent Tactic to be your personal interpreter.
That's how it's done.
Oh crap. Am I getting a little too far in? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We don't want to take Amagi shots. But he has weak armor. Who's in the cap? Oh, he's in the cap. Okay. Yeah, we knew there was torpedoes coming, didn't we? And probably one more set, actually. What is our destroyer doing on the other side of the island? Pray tell. Dying. Dying very rapidly. It's just kind of sad when tier 6, tier 7 destroyers die that quickly. Alright, we have to shoot the DD. Switch to HE. Woo! That was a smack. Lose track of him, unfortunately. Alright, we were going to load HE, but let's get some armor piercing load up for this Algerie. This is the awesome thing about this ship. Again, I love the Scharnhorst. I want the Scharnhorst on Legends really bad. I have it on 2 or 3 out of 3 of my PC accounts. And I don't mind having the smaller guns when you get reload like this. Especially against cruisers, just chunking battleships, and being able to defend yourself against destroyers in a way that they don't anticipate. You are correct. I keep checking. And I was saying last night, you know, the American package of 3 ships is actually a really good package this time. So first time I've been tempted in a while. But of course the Sharn comes with a dud, comes with the Abruzzi. And I wish they would just do like the coupons you get on PC. You get a coupon that you can use on a doubloon ship, a coal ship, or a steel ship once a quarter, or is it every 6 months? I want to say it's once a quarter, but it may only be twice a year you get them. But it's 25% off any ship purchase. So I wish we had something like that. Oh my. Really? I did not expect the Algerie to poke out like that. He's probably trying to torpedo, maybe? Okay. I'm feeling like they're vacating this cap, so maybe I should go and try to deal with the Benson. You got lucky, Algerie. He's gonna come back out again. Oh no, that's the Roma. I guess we can't go for the DD. So I have German Hydro, so I would have gone after that Benson. He's already less than half health. We hit him pretty good. So new bundles are like $100. Can't justify it. Yeah, it's a lot. The prices of ships and legends are jacked up versus PC. I don't know why. Maybe it's a smaller player population, so they figure they need a higher per, transaction purchase. But to me, it doesn't necessarily do the game any good. When I would be buying more ships if they were slightly more expensive. Or slightly less expensive. Did I say more expensive? You think console players are more willing to pay? Really? I mean, Lord knows when I first started playing tanks, I bought a crap ton of premium ships. Okay. Benson withheld his second rack of torpedoes twice, but we wound up anticipating that properly both times. We got him again. Let's maybe slow down a little bit and we can see if the Roma comes in torpedo range. Feels weird shooting HE with this boat, but we have it loaded. He might. Let's see if he pursues. Let's go ahead and speed up. Surely he knows we have torpedoes, right? Yeah. Chalky, you are 100% right. I have not. I have a lot of money. It's all sunk cost, right? It's all money that's been spent. But I have a scary amount of money that's sitting in my tanks accounts. Dang you, Roma. On console and on PC. So it's a bummer. It's a bummer what's happening with console tanks especially. Okay, let's shoot at the destroyer. Because he's not going to be expecting that, is he? Come on, secondaries. I always just enjoy catching the DDs more by surprise when you're in these scrums and they think you're just going to shoot the battleship because it's easy. Can we swing? And again, I have not played this ship enough to remember its torpedo angles. Very generous rearward facing torpedo angles. And look at that, 3 fires, hooray. Ten seconds. I don't think we're gonna make it. Nope. 3 fires. Too much. Oh. Come on, set a fire. Roma must not have been going full speed. Damn. We did get our rear torps off, but he got ahead of him. Felt like we didn't have a lot of support on that side. That's what happens when you're... What was it? The Akatsuki who decided to go in and die in the first 90 seconds to 2 minutes. I mean, when that destroyer threat is removed and allows those guys to all push in on us, it's pretty predictable what's going to happen with that flank. And then we have a Fletcher and a Kagero, but obviously they are on... Well, they're playing in the center. So, where we had 2 destroyers in our flank. Alright, well, probably a decent potential damage game. Hey, Cleve, good night, man. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Good talking to you. If I don't make it back on again this weekend, we'll be back from vacation next Thursday, so I'll hope to be back on for next weekend if I don't make it on this weekend. So thanks again for coming by. Take care of yourself. Have a great week if I don't talk to you before then. Cleve says WG probably sees most console players not the sharpest tool in the shed. Maybe. Hopefully. I do think they dumbed the game down in some respects with the close spawns, the shorter timer, the forced engagement. I do think they think that if you're a console gamer, you're very impatient. That part I think is true. And not allowing team damage. Rich said, actually, now that I think about that, just type the Scharnhorst in it as a premium ship. Yeah, the Scharn. The Scharn's like perpetually in the shop, but she's always 15,000 doubloons, right? And like Orkin right now, which is a pretty unique DD, is only 12.5. So I keep watching, and I was excited. I opened up that global ship package, like, oh, Scharnhorst. And I'm like, wah wah, a Brutesy. I don't want a Brutesy. If it was Scharnhorst and Leningrad for like a little less than 20,000, I probably would buy some extra doubloons and go for it. Alright, well, this game is a loss. Let's jump back out. Let's ride the Siegfried train. Oh, I don't need that. Don't need that triple. Not that I'm short on Commander XP boosters. He's back. How was your sleep? You've done this before. I know you can't sleep when we're still here. It's too hard for you to say goodbye. Samuel, those St. Patrick Day pots of gold are kind of useless. I think it's just kind of buying gold at whatever the regular price is, right? With the odd chance of getting the St. Patrick's Day camo or the 100,000 doubloon chance, right? Which, has anyone posted anything from, when was it, during Big Mamie that you could get that? I don't remember anyone posting anything like they won the big 100,000 doubloon drop then, and I haven't seen anybody obviously yet this time. Have you? You've seen a couple, Tactic? That'd be awesome, obviously. Go Rich. Welcome back, Cleve. Welcome back, Conqueror, bro. We welcome you. Why not buy just the regular doubloon bundles? Yeah, especially if the regular doubloon bundles are discounted at all. For sure. I think it's more just people who want the camo. And honestly, like, I could not bear to put that camo. Is that a perma camo? The one with the pot of gold. I mean, the woman on the front, what do you call that? Masthead? Is that right? You guys are going to correct me. You'll know. That art's kind of cool, but I'm not into the big gilded, gold, gaudy perma camos. And unfortunately, I have a bunch of those on PC. It's the one thing that the art department does that sometimes I go, ugh. Oh, can you pull Belfast out of those pots of gold too? Or it's in the shop now, right? Which, Belfast, I mean, if you don't have it and you're going to spend gold on something, and you don't care about steel, buy a Belfast. Don't spend it's probably 15, right? Figurehead. Okay, that's right. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Tactic. How much is it, Chalky? Is it 12 or is it 12 and a half or is it 15? I'll bet it's 15. But I'd much rather spend 15,000 doubloons on Belfast than spend 27,000 on the initial acceleration for Ochakov, even getting access to the silver missions. But I have a Missouri on PC, so I don't think the economic earnings on Legends are going to be nearly as good as they are on PC. That is my guess. And it's pretty damn similar to an Iowa with slightly better guns and with radar. So I think some people are going to grind for that for a long time, spend a lot of time and effort, and kind of be slightly disappointed. Why get the Belfast at 15K when you can grind the Ochakov at 15,000 or lower? Well, yeah, I would grind Ochakov for the Admiralty cost, but I will tell you right now, in the presentation that I put together, like my YouTube video on this patch, I honestly think that the Belfast has equal to or better stats on almost everything but torpedoes and radar range than Ochakov. And it plays at tier 6, not at tier 7. So it's never going to face legendary tier ships. I prefer smoke over torpedoes, just with my personal play style. You have 4 more guns on Belfast. Dude, and here he goes. Look. People just don't know how to play the boat. He's firing at the kid. Okay. Maybe he'll survive. So anyway, I just think, in my mind, Belfast has equal to or better stats than Ochakov in a lot of, or Ochakov, however you're going to pronounce it, in a lot of categories. And the big difference being playing at tier 6 and never facing something higher than tier 7. Because really, tier 7s play like +2 matchmaking going up. When you play a legendary tier, it's not like playing a tier 8. It's like playing a tier 9 in a lot of cases, in my opinion. Yeah, he should have torn up the kid, for sure. You do have laser rifles, right? I mean, that's a Destroyer Hunter Deluxe. The Ochaka, that is definitely what it should do. But the Belfast is awfully good at that too. Do I think it's a good idea for Wargame to lock this ship in Legends and Steel, so you need Steel to get her? Don't know what ship it is I may be talking about. The Missouri is probably what you're talking about. I have no problem with locking it in Steel, making it a Steel ship. It was a free XP ship on PC when I got it. It was only 750,000 free XP. If that boat were relaunched today, they'd probably make it like a 3 million free XP ship. Because you can only get it out of probably Santa crates. Very, very rare to get. And the economic earnings on it are absolutely insane. Oh, he's not going to turn into me. I didn't see that we had a Jean Bart sitting there. Sorry, JB. Hope you don't get rammed. It's going to be a really costly ram. Can I help you? Dude, why do you let yourself get rammed by a ship with like 1/8 health? Yeah, PC now has the Belfast 43, which is supposed to be the later configuration of Belfast, but it's Belfast is tier 7 on PC. The Belfast 43 is tier 8, so it suffers from the same problem as the Ochaka. It's going against tier 10s. And the Belfast 43 does not have that many games played in it. It's struggling statistically. It's very low in the table with regard to stats. Whereas the original Belfast is very OP. Thus earned its title, the Pay Fast, right? So am I saying the Missouri is worth the steal? Well, Rich, I don't know. I mean, it would be worth the steal if it had the economic earnings potential that it does on PC. It's stupid on PC. Literally, like, you'll do 50,000 damage, and that will be a 500,000 credit game. If you do 100,000 damage game in a Missouri and get a couple kills on PC, you're talking about over 1 million credits without loading up on flags. If you added the bonus flags like our boosters, I think the highest I've got is probably like 1.5 million credits in one game. And I have Musashi too, and Musashi is a close second. It'll be very interesting to see if they bring the Musashi as the next steel ship, which would be basically in this tier structure. Well, it'd be interesting if they tried to make it a tier. It'd be a tier 7 Yamato, basically, with slightly less snipery gun mechanics, gun stats, and a worse AA. So Musashi is a little bit of a liability if you're going up against CVs. Oh, goodness. Got away with that. Lenin just like worked me over big time. On this map, I took 3 citadels in 1 salvo, and it took away, like, oh my god, a lot of my health. We're just gonna go widespread. See if we can even get... Oh, come on. Help me out here. Ugh. We're having no luck on teams tonight. So yeah, Rich, it'll matter a lot based on the economics of the earnings potential, because that's really what makes her stand apart. The playstyle, again, is Iowa with radar, essentially. I mean, it is a different ship. Plays a little differently, but that's the crux of it. These widespread torpedoes did nothing for us, huh? So her legendary status on PC is because of her incredible economic earning potential. We probably are accumulating some good potential damage. We're down to 2 ships again. Team dynamics a little frustrating tonight. Yeah, and Cleve, that's what I had heard. Someone had said Sailing Robin said that it's obviously a premium, but it's not nearly what the PC version has. So I just honestly, personally think it's going to be a cachet thing. It's going to be a, bragging rights thing for those who've unlocked her on Legends, but it's going to be a lot of work. So, and I don't think it's going to be that revolutionary of a playstyle change for people who already have Iowa, for instance. This ship is really unforgiving when you're getting focused. Let's see if we can get one more salvo in on the Lenin. He may be reloaded by the time we get turned. You can't kite in and out just quite quick enough. That Lenin has a dirty rudder shift, doesn't it? Crap, I didn't see that I had a heal. And there's Kutuzov giving me broadside. Damn it. Saw him too late. So let me catch up here. Oh, the Belfast is the older version? Maybe so. Well, how can it be the older version if it's a higher tier? That doesn't make sense. I thought Belfast 43 came with a more modern look, like her refit look. That's what I thought anyway. It just doesn't make sense. If Belfast 43 was earlier, why would she be tier 8, not tier 7? It's kind of backwards. Maybe that's why the ship is not nearly as good. And then going all the way back. And Chalky, you say, oh, Chaka's more your style. Totally legit. If that's, whatever works for you. And every ship has its proponents and people who don't like it as much. So when someone says a ship sucks, it sucks for them. It doesn't mean it's going to suck for you. There's people who are good at every single ship out there. Like, I like Krispy Kreme, Krasny Krem. I have her on PC, and I always do way better than people expect in that ship because no one expects anything out of it. I like the Omaha, so she's basically a different version of Omaha. Ochaka may have higher DPM than Belfast. I'm not sure about that, given she has only 8 guns instead of 12. And I don't think she has much of a better fire chance on her HE. We could only check that basically versus the There is a calculation from Little White Mouse, but again, I think it's against all other tier 8 cruisers. The DPM of Ochakov is pretty low, but I think with fires, she's more middle of the pack of the tier 8 cruisers on PC. Rich got Belfast in a crate. That's fantastic. Tactics says I have to look at the armor model. The Ochakov doesn't take nearly the Citadel damage. That is true, because she has that really slender hull. So that's why I called her Smolensk Light in my YouTube video on the patch. Her hull is so narrow that a lot of shells, battleship shells mainly, will pass through that Citadel. I'm going through the side to side, not the long way, side to side without arming the fuse. And so therefore you do take less Citadel damage for sure, which is what made Smolensk so deadly and frustrating on PC, because she'd run around setting everybody on fire and extremely hard to Citadel. You get a lot of overpens on her. But if you can hit them at 3/4 angle or straight on, it's kind of similar to an Atlanta. And in Atlanta versus a battleship, you're almost better at being completely broadside to them so they overpen you. And that's kind of a similar thing with Smolensk and Ochakov, it seems. Reason Belfast doesn't have torps is because of her refit later after the war. That sounds completely right. WG thinks radar is enough, plus I don't think they want to destroy the credit economy. Yeah, I get that with Missouri, but I think it could be like, if you say a typical baseline multiplier for premiums is 100%, I'd say give her 150. Give her a boost that makes her stand out, because then I think it'll really be worth it. If she's just as good as anything else and not any better, I think people are going to be bummed. The radar it's useful, but it's not the be-all end-all, especially when you don't have... You're going to get... I'm trying to remember what the radar duration is. It's maybe 45 seconds. So what, you're going to get 1.5 salvos off? So it's more for team focus fire if you're in division, just like Ochakov and Orkan. If you're in division and you focus fire and you're communicating by voice, it's going to be fantastic. If you're playing solo, not going to be as useful, especially with the reload on a battleship. That's what makes her radar less utility to me. Ochakov will be the closest Xbox gets to Smolensk, most likely, Chalky. Unless at some point we're really hurting for money in the Legends game, then watch, Smolensk will pop up. We have Kutuzov. If you want a fire starter that kicks ass at tier 7, Kutuzov, man. Hey, Bussy, how are you? Hope you're well. We had a good soccer weekend. Thank you for asking. Football weekend. Our team won our tournament in Phoenix. We were supposed to go to Salt Lake City tomorrow, but one of the girls came down with COVID. And out of 16 players, of course, there was only 3 players on my flight, and one of them was that kid. It was Southwest. We didn't sit with them because we wound up seated in different letter designations, but we had breakfast, lunch with them at the airport. I don't think we were close enough. We were still socially distanced, even though we had masks off to eat. We were sitting in a straight line, not around a table. But because of that, our tournament coming up this weekend got canceled for our group, which kind of stinks because my daughter isn't one of the 12 that gets to go to every single event. So she's going to miss this event now and isn't signed up for the next 2. So she's really bummed. I'm bummed. And I booked a non-refundable hotel room, so I lost $250, $275, because I'm not getting a refund on my hotel, which really, really sucks. But thank you for asking. We had a good time. The girls did well, not having played in a real game situation on a big field for quite some time, except for one scrimmage. So it was fun, totally fun. Bold of you to say they won't add Smolensk. Yeah, it would be Bureau. I think it would be Bureau, or it would be a really expensive. I don't know if they'll sell premiums, legendaries someday. They said they'd never sell premium tier 10s, and they have done that with a premium Yamato. Is it Azure Lane? No. High School Fleet? No. What's the other one? I'm blanking. Has really cool camo. It's like a blue striped camo. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. ARP, thank you, Chalky. Yeah, the ARP Yamato. Cool looking camo, but otherwise a complete reskin clone. Yeah, Ochakov has the quintuple torpedo launchers. It makes sense if Belfast pens a little bit less. That definitely could narrow the gap with regard to DPM cleave. See, okay, tactics saying about 10% better. I thought it would be pretty close there. But again, to me, it's all just the being a tier lower and not being so situational. Because Ochakov, I think the main battery range is relatively limited, right, Tactic? I mean, you have her, for those of you who have her. And Belfast isn't great either. But, you know, if you have to get in close to Yamatos and other big ships, that's why I see the Ochakas tend to just evaporate, like in that last game again. Rich didn't think that Conqueror would ever come. Yep, she's already a rental ship and now already back in the game. $60,000 steel for Smolensk. Something like that could be possible. 1/5 pen, yeah, for HE pen. $250 in each crate for 2,500 doubloons. Yeah, I thought its range wasn't great. At least, okay, 800 meter advantage. So that's decent. Well, Cleve, that's all you played for a while, I remember. 15.5. That makes sense, yeah. I think Belfast is like 14.8. So that was a difficult game. It's more interested in how we did on our goals. So, damn, we've made up some ground. I will have to either play tomorrow before we leave or take an Xbox with me, because I'm not going to be on a whole lot longer. Maybe a couple more games. Let's take Odin back out. These two ships are doing good for potential damage. Won't be that hard to do the 500,000 damage, especially if I jump down to ships that I have more experience in playing. These ships this week are new ships to my rotation, but been kind of remiss in not playing all these ships from the campaigns. Just too many ships. Oh, Rich, let me see. Was that further back? On PC, what makes a ship legendary? Like on console, we have Yamato and Kerr first and soon Conqueror. Those ships on PC are tier 10. So, yeah, basically there is no legendary tier on PC. It's just ships that are coming into legendary tier on Legends are tier 9s or tier 10s on PC. So, yeah, there's no legendary designation. I just think legendary was the tier to scrunch down the top tier ships from PC into Legends, so you have ships like the Yamato. I mean, if they launched this game without Yamato, there would have been a huge outcry. Obviously, that's why it was the first big, legendary event where we had even the test event with the currency and all that. So, but yeah, it's it's just not called out that way. I mean, now there are some, I would say, if there's anything closest to the legendary tier status on PC, it's the steel ships at tier 10, like the FDR, the Frederick Delano Roosevelt, or the Stalingrad, which Cleve, is Stalingrad even available right now? And then there's a couple other, there's like a legendary, there's a steel destroyer on PC, blanking on which one it is. But the steel ships are obviously the hardest to come by on PC, like they are now here on Legends. But those would probably be the closest in status to what our legendary tier is. But technically they're just tier 10 steel ships. Okay, I want to push too far in. Give complete broadside to these dudes. See if I can smack this Miyoko. Slow down! Yeah, Stalingrad used to be hugely popular. Well, it was also hard to get. To get steel on PC, you really used to have to play clan battles, mainly. That was the best and only serious way to get a decent amount of steel. Now you can get steel from rank battles. You can get small amounts of steel just from weekly missions. Well, and then there is the other thing going on now on PC are the research bureau ships, where once you get to the top, I think if you have, how many is it, Cleve? At least 3 tier 10s unlocked. You can go back and basically reset a line all the way from tier 10 back to tier 1, and as you regrind back up the line, each time you unlock one of the next ships in line, you get a certain amount of research bureau currency, and then you can use those research credits for, namely right now, the Ohio, which Cleve, I think, ground his butt off and got the Ohio on PC. So Ohio is like a slightly down-gunned Montana with great secondaries. And does Ohio have radar? So yeah, the Research Bureau is the other kind of end game content now on PC. And you could equate some of those ships to legendary tier from a PC perspective, even though, again, they're all just tier 10s. They're just different currencies to acquire them. And frankly, I have just not played enough, and I have my own clan on PC just because you get really good buffs. You build out a base. It's pretty cool. And as you build out a base and build up your buildings, kind of SimCity-esque, you get credits, enhancements, XP enhancements, ship discounts, commander training, buffs, all these cool things. So I started my own clan. I'm a one-man clan, my 2 North American accounts. And I have good amount of buffs built up off my base. Probably should launch some torps. Turning radius on Odin's not bad. It's a little bit like Big Sharny. Rich, I'll catch up on your chat here as soon as I deal with some of these guys. There's the real Scharnhorst. Cleve, Colbert. Colbert is basically, Tactic knows this because I watched his DeGrasse video, which was very good, talking about the Germans trying to repurpose DeGrasse as an aircraft carrier, but not being able to do that. Captured her hull. Going to repurpose her as a CV. Her hull wound up sitting for the duration of the war, and they basically redid her plan and turned her into a much more powerful light anti-aircraft cruiser than her original DeGrasse design. So the DeGrasse, as reconfigured, was a sister ship of the Colbert. Whoa, who was that? Who just hit me for that? Can't even see it. Not spotted. Okay, so yeah, Montana has a few fewer guns, but... Or sorry, Montana has more guns than Ohio, but Ohio has these killer secondary batteries. She's like as good at her tier as Massachusetts is. And then you've got... Son of a... Oh great, Miyoko Torp's probably coming. Yeah, let's go ahead and use... let's go ahead and use... Ship got some turning radius. Going to use our hydro. Of course, we have to show broadside to evade. Come on, we need to kill. Okay, Miyoko's gonna go forward. We just missed killing the Scharnhorst, of course. Miyoko's going to try to sneak around the other side. Let's get Bow into the Colorado. Who's firing HE. Thank you very much. Good grief. Who's that? DD. Try to swing the butt. Exaggerated turn, swing the butt, then swing it back the other way. Oh my, not enough. Just don't know this ship well enough. Tried to do a cruiser turn. Couldn't quite pull off cruiser turn. Almost. Yeah, I'm getting tired too, for sure. I had enough stress today. I was kind of wigging out, just to be honest. It's computer stuff and HR stuff's the bane of my existence in owning a small business. Lots of things make it worthwhile, but HR and IT. What'd I get? I get the Colorado? Must have got the Colorado. Take it. Just ordered your groceries tactic. We use Instacart for our business. We partnered with them. Versus doing our own delivery vehicles. Come on, Miyoko. You want to turn the corner. I don't know why you want to turn the corner. Oh, he slowed down more than I thought. I thought my secondary range was better on this boat. Let's put the plane up for enhanced torpedo protection. Don't think he had the forward angle to get torpedoes off on this angle. You have to fire them pretty much almost 90-degree angle on Miyoko. Uh-oh. Yeah. We could tell by the angle he was facing that he wasn't going to be able to get him into the position we were sitting in. And we have that DD behind us still. This is good times. We actually have a lead. Oh no! No, no, no! Crap. Look at that. Inability to back up for shit. How long does it take this ship to reverse? Okay, so... Okay, what is our cruiser doing out here? I mean to call anybody out. Okay, but this Surrey like could be doing some anti-DD screening anywhere in this area. Ugh. I think that's going to be the last game for me, party people. So I'm just going to double check where I wound up. That's 75,000 more damage. Oh, you'll go pick them up, so they'll be ready for you to pick up. That's cool. We do that too. We just redid our whole online ordering system right before the pandemic hit. It was just good timing. It's a third generation of our web ordering system. Now we don't ship out of our area. We just use it for buy online, pick up in store, basically. Busty's had an interesting week. You finished the Ochaka. Got the Belfast in West Virginia. Nice. On your final section for both California, which you needed to start in this patch. Good. And Yamato. Very nice. Well, hey, that's the rise of buy online and then go pick it up has been a cool part of the downside of having a pandemic. You know, kind of omni-channel as we call it in retail. But it was great because we were closed for almost 3 months to the general public, but we basically did a lot of pickup orders during that period. So it worked out extremely well. The timing, again, just wound up being fortuitous that we had this new system put in place. And Magento is a pretty powerful web platform. A lot of big companies use it, and it has advantages over some easier things to get up like Shopify, because Shopify, you don't own your own website. Shopify owns it, so you can't take it with you. But when you pay money, I think we paid about probably $20,000 to have our Magento website built. You can take it with you. So you own it. It's yours. You can go to a new web host, and it's more portable than something like Shopify, but more convoluted, more complicated, and 8,000 different plugins you can use to customize it. All right, so where did we wind up? We wound up where we have some additional work to do. See, Cleve has 1,000 games in Cleveland. I have 2,976 battles total. Most played ship is Atlanta at 312. Wins, tough to come by. Oh crap, I can't look in here. I've got to go in here. Hopefully we're going to win that last game. You have I know, you have 30% of my games in one ship. Totally am a noob. I did have some alpha games though, they're not in there. I think I had a couple hundred games in the alpha. So, okay, very cool. Got a lot of potential damage taken care of, so only need about 4 million, sorry. 3.3 million. No, 4.25 million. And then a little over 450,000 damage and 6 kills. So that won't be too bad to finish off, actually. Yeah, Amazon, unfortunately, they're a competitor of ours as our big pet product websites now. So it's a business that I'm in retail where as the smallest business, you're competing against some of the biggest and most heavyweight businesses that are around these days. And thing with Jeff Bezos, he wants everybody's lunch. He wants to eat everybody's lunch. So the next ones to go that are going to feel Jeff's wrath are FedEx and UPS. And I kind of laugh about that because in my business, I can't ship heavy things like pet food for any reasonable cost. My entire profit margin and more would go towards the cost of shipping that bag of food. But they basically subsidized Amazon and a couple others' business model by giving them such low rates on shipping of heavy items that now Amazon's been able to turn around and build their own shipping company and buying their own fleet of airplanes. And next thing you know, the ones that be under pressure will be FedEx and UPS, and that's already the case. So I don't feel sorry for them at all. They enabled Amazon to get as big as it is by not making them pay a fair market price for shipping and charging small guys like me an incredibly high price, which is the same kind of problem that there is with health insurance in our country too. So, hey Cleve, have a good one, man. I'm going to log off as well. Yes, Tactic, the governors do have a lot of Amazon stock, don't they? At least they have to pay sales tax now. That was the other thing. Not only was it like free shipping on low-priced items, on top of that, there was no sales tax for a long time. So that really made it hard for us to compete against those guys. So, hey, thanks to all of you guys who've stopped in tonight on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. I know we have multiple people who've been by from Europe, which is a huge part of why I've enjoyed doing this so much, is meeting you guys from Europe. I have been to London once. It's been a while ago, and it was unfortunately a business trip, so I didn't get to do a bunch of fun stuff. I've been to Japan twice. I've been not to Canada, unfortunately, Cleve. I would like to go to Canada. Obviously to neighboring areas like Mexico, but that's one of the best parts about doing this, which I stream for fun, not for fame, glory, or fortune. But meeting all of you guys around the world has been fantastic. And like I said, building community here has been a real highlight of this. So very much appreciate it. Don't come here to save yourself. Well, I go there and save myself by not being shot. So you never know. I live in a state with a very high per capita number of guns per people. I'm sure the guns and cows outnumber the people in my state by a pretty good margin. So anyway, thank you to everyone again who stopped by. Again, odd chance that I might show up with no camera, with a wonky headset, but probably not as likely. Might just see you out in a game at some point this weekend. And I will be back for next weekend, probably Thursday night through the weekend for some streaming. Bussy says, in the future, if you ever come to the UK, visit the northeast of England. Definitely. So that's like, that's where Sunderland is, right? And Liverpool? Is that correct? I just remember watching Sunderland or Die on Netflix, which I found really, really interesting. We think our sports fans are rabid. Your soccer fans, your football fans over there are amazing. So, Bussy, I've been I watched all The Last Kingdom, and then I've been reading it. In fact, I have some of the books laying around here, which is a really interesting, blending of historical fiction. Oh, so you live in Liverpool, Rich. Okay, cool. Newcastle, Sunderland, place you're from. You're from Durham. Okay. Well, I remember, I think the second season of Sunderland or Die, the guy who came in and bought Sunderland, I think he actually was from Durham, if I recall correctly. So yeah, I mean, that's fascinating, amazing history you guys have. So I like historical fiction. Where are those books? Hold on one second. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of this series, but it's Bernard Cornwell. So there's like 13 of these novels, the Saxon Chronicles. Now they're being labeled under The Last Kingdom just because of the Netflix series. And actually the lead character in this is played by a German guy who's actually a very good actor. But I think historical fiction is cool when the authors do a good job of blending the history with fiction to make it relatable, interesting, and something that more people will pursue investigating. And I think it's a good jumping off point here to, if you really enjoy the story. And what's cool is he has all the maps and he has all the place names, and he puts in the traditional place names and the current ones. Like Bebbanburg is Bamburgh Castle, Northumberland. Sippenham. He has Winchester instead of Winchester. I'm not going to pronounce them correctly. I'm not going to butcher any more of them, but everything is named in the original place names, and all the original battles and events follow the same timeline. And this author's related to some of the main characters in this through line, this book. This is Alfred, who was the king who basically started the unification of the kingdoms of England, fighting against the Northmen, the Danes, and the Vikings. So it's a super interesting series so far. I'm on like book 6, I think. So I have six or 7 more to go after this one. So very interesting history. I would love to go to that area because a lot of this book, this series of books happens in northern England, not just in the Winchester area. Rich calls Scouser. Cleve keeps hanging on. We thought Cleve went to bed again. He's talking about the French now. Oh, yeah, because you have Quebec and Ontario. They'll assassinate you if you don't speak French. I know they're like Texas, right? Texas, theoretically, here can break off into its own country. That's why they had their own electrical grid, which failed when they got their every 10-year cycle winter weather. I've been to Texas. I had no idea until I went there that they can actually... that they have some kind of clause in their constitution that they can secede from the United States when they choose to. Just crazy, crazy stuff. Bussy, you're a Newcastle fan. Okay. Yeah, less on Sunderland. I know the rivals, definitely. Well, Sunderland hasn't been doing too well in the past few years, right? And Rich says, support whatever team you want. Rich, yeah, I think before Rich, you said you're not a big fan of football. So, and that's totally cool. So, just football or soccer wound up being the sport that I liked the most as a kid. So, really not big enough to play American hand egg. I played baseball for a long time, which obviously is not big in your neck of the woods. Cricket being the much bigger sport. Cleve, some vote or whatever, I guess it can seem to not win. All right, you guys, I'm going to hit the hay. I've got some work to do tomorrow, a whole bunch of packing, driving around, and then ultimately a couple-hour drive tomorrow to go up and hopefully ski for a few days this coming week. So anyway, again, thanks to everyone. Hope you guys have a great weekend ahead of you. Thank you, Samuel. Thanks for coming by. Cleve, have a great night. Archer, if you are still listening in, Godspeed. Best of luck with the baby. And best of luck to your new life, which will be forever altered starting today. Hope the baby comes happy and healthy. So thanks, everyone. This is VannKraken. I am out. Thank you so much for joining.